Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name's Farah Halabi and I'm a professional Muslimah life coach, and I'd like to ask you a question as always. Who is the leader in your life? Who is the one that makes the decisions, that decides, chooses what goes on, how you live your life? If the immediate answer isn't, well, I do, then how does that make you feel? What I'd like to talk about is in terms of your life, leading your life. Is your life a community collaborative? Is it are you a charitable endeavour? Are you a public company or a limited company, or who are the shareholders? Who are the decision makers? Who owns a piece of you? Who or what has not just an influence but a real say in what you do? Now, I appreciate that in our lives we have roles and responsibilities to people that have rights over us. In our faith, subhanAllah, we do. Our parents, our children, our spouses, they have rights over us. But the accountability in fulfilling the rights towards them doesn't supersede the accountability that we have for ourselves, even in fulfilling the rights that our children have over us, our spouses, our parents. I'm trying to think of who else, but those three arenas, those three those three areas of our lives, the way in which you fulfill those rights for others still comes down to a choice. It still comes down to how you choose to do that. And the reason I asked if your life is some kind of collaborative affair, if you've got like a board that sits of trustees and governors that sit there every so often and hash out, okay, so what's she doing today? What's he doing today? What are we going to suggest? What are we going to push forward? What is going to sway this vote? And although that sounds diabolical, it's not like there's a little committee meeting that's held every time you want to do something. But if you feel that you don't have leadership of your life, that you feel you have to run everything that you do past others, or gain their permission, or get their stamp of approval, how exhausting is that for you? How exhausting is that parenting your kids? How exhausting is that, or burdensome is that when you're relating with your spouse, when you're communicating, when you're deciding, what goes on in your family home? How much of your thinking and your mind space does it take when you are planning what to do at the weekend, when you are trying to plan your day in your job? How much of that, when you are managing people, when you are managing your home, when you are managing your life, how burdensome is it when you feel that you have to get the say-so or the permission or the go-ahead from others? And what would it mean if, when I ask you, who's the leader in your life? What would it mean if you could say, me, straight away? How does that feel? And I'm not talking about ignoring or not taking on board opinions, not taking on board other people's points of view in the situations, like, I don't know, in your business, taking on board the opinions of your colleagues, in your parenting, taking on board the opinions of the other parent, in your home, in those, whoever is involved in those relationships. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you, how you go out in life and how you show up in life and what you do in life. Who leads that? Or are you doing and showing up in life in response to what people want, what people expect, what is the narrative that has been put out there, you know, forever. The habitual like expectation of, you know, she'll just do this, this and this. What would it feel like to live life on your terms? What would you do? How would your life look? How do you know? How do you know what you want? If you are living your life in response to, or in the hopes of securing a unanimous, across the board stamp of approval, what do you do when you don't get it? How does that make you feel? So tonight, I'd like to ask you to consider that question. Who's the leader in your life? Who leads your life? Is it you? And if it's not, would you like it to be? Because when we go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's going to ask us, what did you do with the gifts I gave you? You're accountable for what you do. You're responsible for what you do. You are most able, most capable, and most certainly have the God-given rights to decide what you do, how you show up, how you live this life. If you'd like to know what that looks like in terms for you, and if you do want to become the leader in your life, or to even have a space to contemplate what that even means. If for so long you have lived a life on autopilot, just, you know, plugging in a tape and pressing play and going through the motions, what would it mean to live your life live? As you see it, as you feel it, as you want it, as you intend it to be, with the overarching goal of living a life that's pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what would you do? How would you be? And would you like a space to really get clear on that and understand what is going on for you? If you would, my name's Farah Halabi. I'm a professional Muslimah life coach, and if you would like to know more details of how I can offer you that space, then drop me a message or send me an email at connect@farahhalabi.com. I have some slots opening for a consultation. If they're not convenient for you, then drop me a message and let's arrange a conversation to help you be the leader in your life and not have to take it to the board or the committee. I was going to say something else, but I think I've been rambling on a lot. Enough. So, as always, I pray that you are safe, well, happy and healthy, and inshallah, I'll pop on for another little conversation. But for now, take care. Assalamu alaikum.